Counterattack Playthrough Series, we're continuing with Ukraine 43. It is turn 3. We're still August. So we're going to roll for the weather on the August table. We got 6. That is 1 German, 2 Russian aircraft. We're still clear. Soviet player turn, reinforcements. Turn 3, they get a 353 Brown infantry. Replacement, same thing again. Special armor infantry. 2 infantry, I should say. Looks like they have that for quite a while, actually. Forever. Alright, that makes it easy. Okay, first the reinforcement. Like last turn, I'm going to bring it in at Kursk. You can walk or rail down. I'll try not to break the rule next time. For the armor, I pulled this out of the limited unit box. I did that last turn as well. Throw that into Kursk. And then, for the 2 infantry replacements, I think we will replace these guys here. Get them happy again. Of course, 5th Shock Army is kind of out of action at the moment. Now the special replacement, that's going to go to waste. It is only good for artillery, headquarters, and cavalry. And since it's going to go to waste, that kind of tells me the gamey thing for me to do is to be sending cavalry on suicide missions. Because otherwise the replacements are going to go to waste. So I'll have to try to remember that. So now I get to do 3 artillery flips. And, well, I think maybe this guy here. Try to keep some pressure going on over here. Yeah, only having 3 is too bad. I want to try to do 1 Stavka per turn, so this is sort of soaking up 33% of my flips each turn. Once they're ready, man. And then we'll do this guy down here. Haven't used artillery in the south yet. Okay, movement phase. First, down here in the southern front, I noticed sort of a mistake on the Germans' part, where they were, I guess it was kind of tough for me to figure this out when I was playing the Germans, but they left a little spot here where I can occupy their defensive belt. So, I think first off, these guys are going to do a zone of control to zone of control move right into there. And then someone down here, yeah, this guy. I got 2 infantry there. I'll denude the defenses down here to have this guy go 1, 2. Oh wait, he can go 1, 2, 3 to exit the zone of control. 4, and he only has 3 movement points. I want him right here, so he's just going to do a zone of control to zone of control move here. Bam. So that way we still have Zokbond here. Last turn I did move a few of these guys using the road, like mechanized road movement. Infantry do not benefit from roads, so we'll just pretend that didn't happen. Okay. What else we got here? So let's see, that's 6 attack. So we'll throw another 3 in there, and another 3 in. So we got 12 attack against 5-ish. That's 2 to 1. 12. I have 12. It'd be nice to get 3 more in there. I don't think I can. Get this guy in there. Go here. Yeah, we're at 14 to 5. So I'm at max stacking. This guy can go in because he's got a white outline here. Is there anyone else I can get in there? Doesn't appear so. Let's see, is there any tank that I have? I think there's a tank. I'll make sure you can actually see what I'm looking at. Yes, you can. Just a reminder, I can't always see where my camera is pointing. 5th Shock Army, it does have this little guy in it. So let me just see if I can get him down to here. And maybe we'll have this guy go here to make it a little easier. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. I think I did that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Okay. So we got a 3-to-1 attack against this guy. I just really want to put pressure here. It might invite counterattacks by these guys, but that's okay because we have, you know, further up here, more stuff going on, and if there's 2 attacks coming in, that's better than just 1. So this, I'm not really sure what to do because this German force here is pretty strong and they're in a good blocking position. This guy's 11 defense. I do want to unzip the line. Like every time I unzip one of these guys off the line, it frees up one of these guys, right? So what can I do on this guy? Well, I think this guy's going to go zone of control to zone of control, just to slide over a little. Because not only is he still in contact with this guy, but he now can support an attack here later, you know, in the turn or two later. What do we have in here again? We have those guys. Okay, so that's 13 attack here, plus these 3. Let me see, across a major river, attacker halved. All right, so this guy's will only be coming across with a 1. 1 or 2. I'll have to go see if it's round up or round down. We want to gamify our cavalry, and so we'll go ahead and throw cavalry in there. In fact, let's go ahead and move 5th Shock. I do need to protect this, but I'm assuming I'll get an advance. So 5th Shock's going to move up here, but before it moved, it dropped off its replaced contents. So this guy here, in fact, I can use these guys. This guy here, they are replaced, right? They had replacements. And they can just move, the replacements can still move forward 1, so we'll go ahead and move forward 1, this disaster I've produced here. Pushing them forward 1 so that it's safe for this to move 1 more space forward. So 5th Shock army's empty, so I probably should, let's just keep it there. Cavalry goes into the army, then the whole army moves. According to the rules, the doctrine is this is filled with infantry, but nothing prevents it from having a cavalry, so I threw the cavalry in there. What else do I want to throw in there? Well, this guy. It's now worth 8. Might as well throw this guy in. It's now worth 9. Are there any other free stacking units? That's why I should be rebuilding free stacking units, because I don't have free stacking units. What's up with this disrupted guy? Ooh, he's not going to be doing much for me. A little concerned of this guy here. He's not that powerful, but I only have a 3-zer defending here. You know what? This little 1 guy that was back here went into the army. I think I'm going to keep him there. This guy will go 1, 2, 3 into the army. And instead, this guy will come down and help defend. So he can go 1, 2, 3. And then this guy will just slop on him there. Gosh darn it. I guess I'll keep him here because I want to bring this artillery up 1 more. We get a little extra artillery shift here. Is that where I want it? I'd rather help up here, but it's too far away. So he'll come over here. What else we got? I think we're good down here for movement. Okay, let's go up the line a bit. So, we thought this would never come, but I think with the pressure down south, it's time to put some more pressure here. And it's going to be a tough attack. 13 against veteran units. So let me see what I can maximize the most here. So I got a damage unit here, yeah? So we'll move him out. I keep forgetting to buff this guy. So I think we'll move this guy out. He will go I'm using the pontoon bridge here that's across the major river. So let me remind myself, major river with pontoon +3. So it's 4. So I have to use extended movement. You can leave a zone of control using extended movement. So 4, and extended movement is +3, so I can go 6. I'll just go back 1. Just keep them in this area. And then I want to put another guy here. So what I'm going to do is zone of control to zone of control. Bring this guy over here. A nice little stack there. And then I can bring someone across from this way. I'm just shuffling everyone. Fortunately, everyone can move zone of control to zone of control. Shuffling everyone to try to get this maxed as much as I can. Bring this guy down into here. What else we have around here? Hey, we got some cavalry here. I should be using this cavalry, yeah? Well, maybe he'll go up that way, but I was kind of thinking maybe you come in here, but I'm not going to do a double attack basically across the river at the moment. So we could, yeah, we'll just think about that cavalry for a bit. Let's come up here. I see. I think I see what I want to do. So this cavalry is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This unit there with a free stacking unit. I think we're going to do attacks on both of those spots. Those are some key spots that, as the Germans, I couldn't find a good way to get more units onto. Everyone was like piling up into here. This is max stack, by the way. It's got 3 normal units and 1 free stacking. Good here. Okay, first tank army. That's like my best punching unit right at the moment. It's got an attack of 16, 23, 25 attack strength right now. So my thoughts here, come down. Well, I can't actually get to Kharkov due to zones of control. Come over here and just make it easy to just clean this up. Next turn, I got more units coming in. It's sort of like a weak sauce move. Very, very conservative. So I think better. Okay, the slowest unit in their stack. It's pretty fast units, but the free stacking units and infantry, you know, I got 6, they'll have 6 movement except for this guy who's a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there. We're gonna tear this thing apart here. Maybe even tear this apart with a maneuver attack. I can't remember the names of the terms, but basically breakthrough attack is what it might be called in the other games in this system. So yeah, so this is all empty here, but that's okay because we got all this stuff up here that is finally able to do something. So this guy, he's going 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we'll get back here. We went through, what is this place? Belgorod. Heard of that? Some other game. Captured it. We have 1 VP. We needed VPs. We're not at the threshold of where we could get close to losing, but it's getting there, so we needed that. Okay, so yeah, I guess all these guys will just like try to crush this guy a bit. What do we have under here? Man, we got a lot of stuff here. All these trained units that came in earlier. Oh yeah, yeah, that guy's dead. So this one will go 1, 2, 3. Join up there. 1, 2, 3. There. 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3. Anything else groovy up here? Yeah. I wish I had more free stacking units. Yeah, I need to start building those things. We have 17 attack here. Let's get at least 21 for 3-to-1 odds. So let's bring it to 20. 26. Okay. That's good. This deck here, which is pretty weak. 8 attack. I think it's just going to fill in over here. 1, 2, 3. And it's mostly there just to keep these guys blocked. Also block additional retreat paths, potentially. What do we have up top here? Yeah, let's bring this guy down here. Can you see Zukov? You can. Flip that guy. Ooh. I'm being a little risky here. It's like some gaps here. This artillery can be attacked if this guy moves up here. I'm not planning on attacking him. I'm planning on there being enough advanced after combats that I can plug holes. I also have some guys coming down from Kursk. In fact, let's take care of those guys right now. I'm not going to cheat and use a rail line that I'm not allowed to use. As a reminder, this rail line here is out of commission until this green version of the line connects it to this green line here. So I need to take Kharkov to get this line running. It seems like a pretty decent line for the attack avenue I want to take. So this guy, he's going to do a extended movement, so he's got 6 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy will train down to Voronezh, the Voronezh rail line here. That's as far as he can go because of the railhead, but we will be moving that up this turn. I've been waiting on these guys here. So I know the Germans are building a fort there. Could attack them, but they got Tiger tanks. That'd be 10 defense there. And I could probably muster a 2-to-1 plus artillery 3-to-1. But the tanks will counter that, bring it back to 2-1. I could push them off of there. Don't really care about that spot too much. I guess it is between 2 rivers, but I think I'd rather push towards Sumy. Yeah, but I can't. This guy's just bogged down here. Yeah, maybe I need to wait. I have some guys further up the line that might be able to. Let's see, just off camera here. There's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll bring it down in with this artillery. In fact, we'll move this artillery up. And yeah, we'll risk this and hopefully get an advance after combat I can use. So I think this free stacking guy will slide up over here. Let's see, maybe better make sure I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4.5. Okay, yeah, bam. There's only one guy there, so this guy will do a zone of control to zone of control. And this is really warped. I needed some better glass. Okay, so I feel this is a dangerous spot here. This guy can come in here. I'm sort of betting on my German opponent, who's me, won't advance here because it wants to use that fort, but yeah, hopefully I'll get an advance and be able to beef that up. I think that's all the moves I want to do. Okay, combat phase. But this is like the main, what I'm considering my main thrust. Let's forget about that for now. Let's come back down to my secondary area, which I consider along here all the way down to here. But this is where the main action is going, and I think focusing on this battle first. Let me remind myself what's going on here. I think these are all 8-point stacks. I think that's true. So normally this would only be an attack of 12, but it's actually an 18 because of the free stacking. It's a free stacking key for the Russians, at least when there's limited space. It's 3-to-1 against this guy. These are armor, but I don't get the tank shift because I'm in rough right now. So what I say, 18 to 5, that's 3 to 1. This artillery was brought down specifically to get this to 4 to 1. How much do I care about that? 3 to 1 versus 4 to 1. The reason I'm looking is it's, I only get to flip 3 artillery per turn. I don't think I actually care that much. So we're going to save that artillery. And we'll do a 3 to 1. The Russians are not going to put aircraft into this attack. Neither are the Germans. Is that true? Yeah, I think the Germans are scared. They got a lot more to worry about than this area. Okay, 3 to 1. Just a reminder, we got a 2. Just a reminder, rough terrain, the only effect it has on combat is you can't get the armor shift. Let me see what else. Yeah, that's it. And it tells you what column to use determined defense on. So rough and woods are the same. Yeah, so rough and woods are basically just not tank country. So we got a 2 on the 3 to 1 column is a DRX that says each side takes a loss, but the opposing player chooses. Okay, so this guy, he's just dead. So that was nice to do to the Germans. And what are we going to do here? What would I want the Germans to take out? I think we want to take out what I'm discovering. The free stacking units might be the most important units, at least for the Soviets. With DRX, if the opposing player's gone, the defender's gone, or retreats, we can do a normal advance, which for all movement classes is 2. So, how much do I want to push into here? And I can go in any direction I want. Look at this little guy. Make sure you can see that. Yes. Look at this little guy back here. He's unhappy. I think, can we get back there with an 8 attack? That'd be a 2 to 1. Oh, I can only advance 2. So if I could advance 3, I can go 1, 2, 3, maneuver or movement attack, whatever. Alas, can't really do that. So I don't want to overextend too much here. I'm inclined for this guy just to go yeah. I mean, he's just asking to get counterattacked though, isn't he? Here, let's move this 8 guy up here first and make sure this big ol' attack stack can't get back here. I don't think it can. So now cut this guy off though with Zokbons. Okay, I mean, he's sure to be counterattacked, but he's got 8 defense and armor bonus is gone. So we'll see. These guys here, yeah, so I think these guys can come out here and just cause a little bit of mayhem here. I wish I had more follow-up forces, but I don't. Alright, I like how that worked out. Okay, now for the other part of this 1-2 punch. This, let me remind myself what 5th Shock Army is. That is a cavalry unit at 5 attack, and then 2 infantry for a total of 6 attacks. So that's 11 attack. We're going after this guy, right? So I'd like to get to 21. I don't recall. Yeah, I think I got it to 3 to 1. So what I say, 11 plus 3 is 14, plus 10 is 24, plus 3 is 27. Tank shift doesn't matter. This guy's in the defensive belt. But anyway, that's 3 to 1. There's no artillery. I'm not going to commit air to this attack. Are the Germans? Well, they only have 1 air. No, they're not. Okay, 3 to 1. Sorry, it's 3 to 1, but shifted left by the defensive fortifications. It's a 5er. So we're actually on a 5 on a 2 to 1. That's A1, D1. Each side loses a step for starters. And they pick their own steps to lose. So obviously this guy has to lose. And think the 5th Shock Army is gonna have this guy flip. It's like not as good unit as the red ones. Okay, and then surviving defenders must either retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. I don't want to conduct a determined defense because I think I just need to get this guy out of here. Okay, so he's going to retreat. A1, D1 retreat. I think it's two. Man, I need to like print up a little cheat sheet for retreats. It's really annoying that I don't know what they are. Let's see if I can look this up without being too annoying. All right, A1, D1 is a 2-hex retreat. So we'll go ahead and come back here. He's disrupted. I apologize if you hear like rattling in the background. It's really cold and it's my heater, it's rattling. So, okay. So now we can do an advance. And what do we have here? We got 12 defense. Not bad, not bad. I think this guy's gonna come down here and get it up to 15 defense. This guy's gonna sit back tight here with 12 defense. Oh, you know what? When I took my loss in 5th Shock Army, I'm gonna unflip that. I wanna flip the cavalry, yeah? So this guy, I guess he's just gonna come in here. The advance on an A1D1, which is on a chart and not annoying, is 2 hexes. And there's no zone of control in this hex, but I can't come in here because there's a Zoc bomb. So we're just incrementally moving up, which creates the issue. I was hoping to be able to knock this guy out next turn, but I guess I can't. Yeah, okay, that was kind of a weak attack, but at least I can move this forward one. Okay, let's move over to the Slaviansk area. This is probably a dumb attack. Let's see what we got here. These guys, it's a 2 shift left because of their quality, and they're in the defensive belt. Tanks are irrelevant, so it's 13. Forget what I even had in here. 12. Plus 3 is 15. Plus 6 is 21, 22, 23. Why am I doing this? 23 to 13. It's 1 to 1. Shifted left 2, that's 1 to 3. Shifted right 2 maybe for artillery. That gets us, no matter what, we're going to take like 1.5 losses. I can throw an airplane in. Yeah, I think I'm going to do all that. So that gets us to 2 to 1. And so the only question is, and yeah, this artillery is flipping. Oh, this one was flipped. Never mind. This is too costly. I'm gonna do this. Okay, I'm not doing it. It's too costly. Not quite ready for this, unfortunately. I do have a lot of force here, but it is tying powerful forces down. You know, maybe this guy, he feels free to release, but I don't feel too bad about not being able to do anything here. Okay, moving up the line. Coming up to Kharkov area. All right. Gonna attack this guy. And I'm gonna have at least one of these guys attack from the side so that I can negate the river defense. So let's see what we have here first. Got 8. Not much, so 12. So I should throw this armor in for 2 to 1. Yeah, that's about as good as I'm gonna get. Okay, so we'll just offset him here a little bit. 2 to 1. Shifted 1 to 1 to 1. I am going to use my aircraft on this, so we'll throw in an aircraft. So it brings it up to 2 to 1. Germans, they're not going to use their aircraft. All right, let's do it. 2. A 2 on the 2-to-1 is an exchange, which is unfortunate because no one retreats in that situation. Unit is that's killed is selected by the opposing player. So this guy flips, but holds the line, and he's going to flip this guy. Maybe I should kill it. You know what? I'm going with my theory that Soviet free stacking units are like a premium. We'll kill that guy instead. Also, 4, 5, 6 would be heavy casualties when attacking into a fortification. Hopefully I didn't miss that in any other attacks. Next attack. Got 6 here, I think. 6. I'm trying to get 14 against this guy. I don't think I counted this up. 10. Okay, oh, we're good. 18, 20. Oh, not quite 3-to-1. So 2-to-1. Shifted left to 1-to-1 for the defensive terrain. That's he's gonna have to think about retreating on a 50% chance, and then there's a chance of an exchange. I'm good with that. So the Germans, are they going to throw in an airplane? They're one airplane? No. Russians still have an airplane. 4. 4 in the 1-to-1. It's an A1 DR. Ouch. Okay. First the A1. I think I'm going to try to preserve attack strength over defense strength over here. D1, or no, DR. But let me roll for heavy casualties. 4, 5, 6 heavy casualties. Unfortunately, took heavy casualties. Where we're going to take them from? Oh, yeah, we'll take it from this cavalry. Okay, this guy has to retreat. He's not going to. He is in other terrain per determined defense table. Rolling for determined defense. Rolled a 3. He didn't take any help from aircraft or anything. I should have picked a lead unit from the other side, but it doesn't really matter. It only matters, I think, when you're comparing elite versus non-elite, things like that. So that is a negatory. It does not hold. And so A1, what did we say we had? A1 DR, I believe that is a 2-hex retreat. So I think I have to go this way. This is already max stacked. I can only retreat through one zone of control. I can't go through 2 consecutive. I mean, I guess he can just come right in here too. So 1, 2. I think we'll do that. Although he's going to be disrupted, so I think we'll go back here. And on the German turn, at the end of the German turn, hopefully he will not be disrupted. What I'm humming about is if this guy advances 1, 2, when a disrupted unit has an enemy approach it, it goes into full retreat and has to retreat again. You know, I have no choice. I retreat 2, and I can't go next to an enemy unit, so that's the only place I can go. Hey, I just checked the rules again on the idea of full retreat. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I'm mixing it up with a different Semenich game, or just made it up. But I thought if someone moved next to him, he has to full retreat immediately. No, he converts to full retreat if he's forced to retreat a second time. So, what about my advance? My advance is going to be 2. What did we have in here? 4 or 8 defense strength across the river. Okay, I'm cool with that. So this guy's going to advance here. I could do a mobile attack on this guy, but his attack strength is halved because or defense strength is halved because he's disrupted. It'd be 6 again. It'd be like a 2-to-1 if he ran down. Let me think about that. Let me go see. Nope, this is a round up game, which means this guy's defense strength is 4. Can't quite get a 2-to-1 here. Although I could get a 2-to-1 if I brought this guy in. You know, I just think that's fun. I'm going to do that. Okay, and then these guys, they'll advance. I kind of think well, maybe I'll keep, this guy will just go here. This guy will come up here. Like, I'm planning on this guy being forced to retreat and being eliminated, so I'm not too worried about what's going on here. Okay, yeah. Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking I have another attack, but I don't. This is a normal advance, so I don't get to do the fun part of attacking the disrupted guy, which I was just thinking I could do. Let's go to that other thing I was briefly commenting on while I was off camera. This guy, I think it's okay how I did this, because if he's forced to retreat, like, he's just dead. So what do we have here? That's 7 defense. We got 6, 12, probably 18, yeah. Plus 8 is 26. Got a 3-to-1 attack. I don't think it's worth throwing any resources at this from either side. Got a 2. DRX. That is, each side loses 1 step, chosen by the opposing player. And the guy must retreat or make a determined defense. So yeah, he takes a step. He's going to pick this fancy guy here to take a step loss, and he's dead. Okay, so if he retreats, he's dead. So he can make a desperation defense, but let me see. I think he does at first a determined defense, and if it fails, he becomes desperate. Something like that. Okay, so he's entitled to a determined defense, but if the stack or unit faces elimination, if it retreats, then it is allowed to roll again and again until the retreat is cancelled or the defending unit's eliminated. Treat no effect results as -1 results, meaning take a loss. So I'm assuming I do that now. In other words, I have to make I don't do like a determined defense, and if it fails, then make a desperation defense. Yeah, that's my reading. So, here we go. A 4, where are we? We're in defensive belt, which reminds me I need to roll for heavy losses. A 4 on other, that's a failure and a step loss, so this guy's dead. But let's see, 4 to 6 would be heavy losses as well. Nope. Okay. Let me know if I did the desperation defense incorrectly. I think I did it right, but time to advance all these guys. Okay, these 2 advance over here, which I was hoping for. I have an abundance of units over here now. One, 2. Oh, yeah, 1, 2. We'll just keep them here to cycle and to replace losses. Okay, the bubble's collapsing here. Let's move over here. So I was dumb. I didn't allocate 5th Guards Tank Army to really do anything. They have an attack right now of 25. Is that right? No, 23. I should have moved them, but we'll just say, yeah, they're guarding this guy. We're attacking this stuff here, though. What do we have? I don't remember. Okay. We have 10 defense. The attack, and that's going to be a shift for fancy stuff. Tank shift is not going to happen because this has some tank units in it. So this was this is what, 1st Tank Army, that's got 25 attack, and another 8 is 33, so that's 3-to-1 attack. I don't have artillery to throw into that. I am going to throw my heir in for 4-1. Don't let Zukov in on this business. Yeah, Zukov, 5-1. And then the Germans, yeah, they'll throw their heir in, so all heir is spent. So it's 4-1, down to 3-1 for the Germans being elite. Got a 4-1, that's just a DR. So the question is, do these guys want to make a desperate defense? Which I'm pretty sure they're allowed to, yeah. Or determined defense, I should say. We're in clear. There's 50% chance of taking a loss and a 33% chance of holding the line. Now the reason I'm concerned about the retreating is this force can come up here and attack this guy in a mobile attack at 4-1 odds. So I think what I'm going to do is I am going to accept the retreat. Come down here. And then I'm going to look up a rule. Yeah, it's called rearguard actions. You can have to retreat 2 hexes. You can shorten your retreat if you go into a major or minor city, maybe a fortification, something like that, or a friendly unit that is not retreated this turn. This might be dumb, but I think I'm going to eliminate this guy. That's the requirement, eliminate this guy, to cancel one of the steps that is retreated. And the reason I'm doing that is I want this guy to stop retreating. He will be disrupted still, but his defense strength's 3, so at least we have 8 defense strength here, and that makes a mobile attack from, what was it, 25, ugh, oh man, I'm still not helping myself here. I'm trying to avoid like a big second follow-up attack. You know what? I'm not going to do the thing I was talking about. So we have to retreat 1 more. I guess we'll retreat here. Oh, this is not good. Not good. But the idea was I was trying to leave a guy here to boost its defense strength to avoid this guy coming in and smashing him in a maneuver attack or whatever it's called. I don't think I can avoid it. This guy will have a 3-1 attack. Yeah, I probably should have desperate defended. Well, this guy can desperate defend, maybe. In terms of the advance, this guy advances here. There's no zone of controls at the moment because I went into the vacated hex. We're going to use our second advance to attack this guy. Been wanting to do this just to try out the mechanism. Okay, well this guy's got 25, this guy's 5. All resources are spent. Let me think. I threw in Zukov, didn't I? So someone has to take a loss before I do this. Yeah, this guy will take the loss for Zukov being used. Okay, but anyway, and this guy still needs to advance, but we're doing an attack here. So what I say though is 3-1, down to 2-1 for the quality advantage the Germans have. So not as great as I was hoping actually, but 2-1. Let's get something good here. Oh, 6. 6s are good, I think. Defender loses a step. Surviving defenders must either retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. So this guy has a narrow band on the back. So he definitely takes a loss. He's going to be replaced with a remnant. So what a remnant looks like, it's got a rem on it. So this is the final step, which is why it has a fat band on it. So that is unfortunate. Losing a big unit. So as the Russians, I'm glad I found that opportunity. So yeah, he's going to make a determined defense. This is other terrain. He's the lead unit. I guess it doesn't matter because there's no quality at stake here. Go to 2 on the determined defense for other. That's a dash. I'm pretty sure Manstein could reroll any German roll, so we're going to do a Manstein reroll on him. It's within 7 of Manstein. Got a 1. Oh man, even worse. it's a step loss. Ugh. Well, Remnant goes back. Hey, let me back that up. I didn't use Manstein. I didn't determine defense. Here's why. This guy, you don't advance after combat a second time when you're doing this maneuver type attack. So there's no point in doing a determined defense. So we'll just go ahead and retreat 2 down here. And he can't go anymore because he's already used his 2 advances. So this guy here, does he want to advance? I don't think he wants to open up this guy to be able to get back here. I'll just chill out. It'd be nice to come over here. I really should have moved that guy. Oh well. I'm starting to think about the German turn like this might be time to give up Kharkov. Just don't even fight for it. Pull out. It's like a wave coming in. Okay, there's one more attack I wanted to do, and then we can go to the German turn. Right in here. So what do we have? It's just 1 unit here, right? It's illusion because this is all warped here, but 7 defense, and I am pretty sure I got enough attack in here. Oh, 14, 17, 23, 25. So 3 to 1, 2 to 1 for the fortification, 3 to 1 because I'm using this artillery. Everyone's spent. Zukov does have a reroll available to him still. Three on the 3 to 1. It's a DR. I want to do a loss to them. Zukov's triggering a reroll. 6 on the 3 to 1. It's a D1. Yeah, that's good. Defender loses a step. Glad I did that. Okay, and he's in other terrain. I have to decide if I'm going to do a determined defense. There's not going to be a zone of control in his hex, so the attacker will get most likely a 2 to 3 hex advance. I have a 33% chance of defending there or just dying. Oh man. This is bad. I think this is the death of the German defense in the north. Like just this one little battle. If I determine defense and lose, these guys go 1, 2, 3. Now the mech part do anyway. The non-mech can go 1, 2, and they might be able to go here. That's a question. There's no zone of control here. So they can go 1, and then yeah, into a zone of control. Bam. So, and then it's just gonna force these guys to come back out here. So, so there's a chance though I can hold them. The question is it better just to retreat back to here and have someone back here that can come up and block them? You know it. This is desperate defense. We're desperate. Here we go. We're doing we need a 5 or a 6. Oh man. Alright. So these guys are dead. Advance after combat. Guess these guys will. I think I want. Yeah. Guess I should leave 1 behind. These guys will cruise into Sumi here. That's another point. And these guys will go 1, 2. So I don't want to go extra aggressive out here. I mean, I don't want to get cut off, right? So come down here. 3. Just like say, hello. Hello, you probably want to move away from here. Yeah, I do need to stay within 5 hexes of a rail line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. I'm hurting here. Have I been cheating? I think I've been thinking this rail line is open this whole time. This is like a bad supply area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. I screwed up. well, we'll have to reassess this. Okay, I spent like 5 days thinking about this. I almost gave up on this video because I thought I screwed up so bad, but it's recoverable here. Okay, so talking about line of supply and me failing to recognize this rail line is not active. So I have to trace 5 movement points to an active rail line or to a supply hex. So, and the movement points are a little different than moving units. Basically half a movement point for a road, 1 movement point for any other terrain, and yeah, that's basically it. So let's consider like this artillery here. It can trace half a movement point. In fact, let's get up a little more so we can see where we're going to trace to here. Like this guy here, you can go 1, 2, 3 to trace to that rail. So this guy over here, he can go through 1 non-consecutive. You know, you can't do 2 consecutive zocs, but just 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's in supply. This guy though, he's more in trouble. So you can go 1, 2, because I can't go to a second zoc here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't quite make it. So what I'm going to do is a little cheat. But let's pretend instead of me flipping this artillery unit during the flip portion, I instead just opted to drop some emergency supply right here. You have to you do this during the initial phase. This guy's in supply, this emergency supply marker, and it extends 3 movement points. So that goes 1, 2, 3, bam. So that gets that guy in there. I had to sacrifice one of my artillery. So let me remember, I'm flipping it right now back to the used side. So, you know, I'm retroactively repairing this situation, but at least it forces me to think about this railroad and learn about the emergency supply and start thinking about supply situations. So I'm kind of pushing too hard. I should be pushing to try to open this rail line, apparently. It seems like an important rail line. Anyway, we finished the combat phase. I'm looking everywhere else. I don't see any other out of supply isolated situations. I'm going to go ahead and off camera remove all the Soviet disrupted markers that can safely be removed, replacement markers, and we'll call that the end of the Soviet turn. Okay, German player turn 3 reinforcement. Look at that bad boy. Wow, that's solid. Here, Germans get 1 special and 1 infantry replacement. Okay, for that super powerful reinforcement, I think we'll just put it on this supply source and it'll drive to where it needs to go. I'm not going to train it in because the Soviets are pretty close. So I need to find a place for the replacements. But I went and reread like this emergency supply thing and I got it wrong. So let's correct that real quick. What these emergency supply markers do is they put units that are out of supply back into supply instantly. So I couldn't, this was like lame, so I can't do that right now. And so that means I'll reflip the artillery. And yeah, sorry about this mistake, it's dumb. So at the end of the supply, the Soviet turn, a couple guys were out of supply, I believe. So let's see, this guy's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this guy's in supply, but this guy's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so this stack is out of supply, unfortunately. Let's go and throw that down there. And at the beginning of the Soviet turn next time, they can drop that emergency supply, and that'll eliminate that. So yeah. Okay, now for the replacements. The special replacement, I looked all over the map and couldn't find anything that it would apply to. So we'll go over here to the eliminated units box. And yeah, special replacements can replace white dot units. So we'll go ahead and get a little assault gun. And I guess I'll grab a relocation marker for that. And then I could repair an infantry unit on the map with the infantry replacement. But a damaged German infantry is 5. Defense, versus 7. I think it'd be better to bring one of those back instead of try to heal one. So yeah, we'll do that. doesn't matter a whole lot where I put them, so I guess I'll go ahead and put them with the reinforcement up here. Under replacement markers. Okay, now the movement phase. The question is, okay, well I'm definitely gonna move that guy, but the question is, what are we gonna do in this disaster down here? Now fortunately the Soviets are out of supply here. These guys got into Sumy, and Sumy, being a minor city, is double defense. So, you know, right there we got 16 defense. It's gonna be tough to push those guys out. But I definitely need to shore things up here, because otherwise there's gonna be a massive breakout, right? Got a bunch of disrupted Germans down here. This is collapsing here, which I think is okay. We'll pull some guys behind these rivers a bit, delay a little more, but it is getting scary. What do we got here? A little remnant tank, you know? So while we're thinking about it, I need to build another fort. And that might be a good spot here, actually. It's all open terrain here. There's a river here, so there's sort of a gap in defenses, maybe. Not 100% sure. Guess I could put a guy there and a guy there, and yeah. So, well, we know this guy here, I mean, the unit doesn't build the fort, but I happen to know he's occupying a fort, so now we got a little fort there. It's a little obsolete already, though. Where else are we going to build another fort? I'm inclined to build it, you know, we got rivers here, maybe, I mean, this would be a good spot right here. Maybe we'll build it right there. I'm guessing disrupted units can't build a fort. Let me double check that. Yeah, that works. Okay, so what are we going to do here? I think we're going to pull some of these units back. This guy's situation, he is, what's that, first tank army? That is 25, I believe, if I recall. Attack strength. Defense strength, not as much. Let's see, 14 plus 9. Yeah, pretty close. So that guy, I could surround him and just get a massive attack on him. That might be worth doing, actually. It's just, the problem is I just have all these disrupted guys here. So I don't know. I think as the Germans, I'm in trouble. Let's see what these guys are here. Okay, that's 10 defense. Out of supply. That only has your attack strength. It doesn't have your defense strength, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, I might be dumb, but I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, you know, I know this guy's out of supply. I know the Soviets gonna want to get an emergency supply in on that guy. We're gonna foil that. And it might leave some dangerous situations here, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. It's okay if a few guys leak through and they'll be out of supply eventually. So this bad boy up here, 15 attack strength, 12 defense strength, elite. The yellow 15 means it has tiger tanks, always gets the tank shift. So he's gonna go, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right in there. All right. A little counterattack action going on. Let me remind myself, what was this again? That was 14, 15, 16. Is that who I want to attack? You know what? Instead, we'll cut over here. It might not even attack. We'll just cut over there. Okay, this guy's stuck behind enemy lines, right? At the moment. Let's pull him back. Zone of control to zone of control. We now have a Zokban there. Cut off Sumy. Sumy's going to be in supply, but we cut it off from further advances. All right. But we got these Soviets here to deal with. I'll put that sideways so I remember they're Soviets. I'm gonna be crazy. These guys. What do we got? 9 and 3 attack. Well, let me just say what I'm thinking. I'd really like to muster some guys to do an attack this way. Get behind, you know, there's a gap here. There's some sort of weak units here. If I can get some good rolls, I can start rolling these guys back, right? Hit them, get an advance after combat, hit them with a mobile attack. just cause some disruption. I'd be, you know, opening my lines up here a bit and being potentially cut off. So maybe that's too aggressive. All right, I'm hemming and hawing, pausing the camera every once in a while just to think about it. This is bad. All right, I think I've sort of decided, even though I want to attack, I need to be a little more conservative. This guy's gonna just go 1, 2.5. And it's 2.5 because I'm leaving an enemy zone of control. Even though he's out of supply, still has zone of control. 3, 4. Okay, so sort of falling back a little bit. I think that's okay. 8 defense right there. I need to be sparing here now. I think this guy will roll up and reoccupy that fort, Zokbans. So where is this guy? This guy's here. Yeah, I really wanted to do a solid attack, but it's not going to happen. Got this little disrupted guy here. He's not going to do much on the defense. I may have mentioned this before, but if you're disrupted, you can only move using tactical movement, which is you just ignore terrain and go 2 spaces. Maybe he'll just move in down here, getting ready to defend against breakthroughs. I don't know. These guys. Oh, and if you're disrupted, if you're in an enemy zone of control, you have to do your best to leave it. If you can't leave it, it's fine, but you got to do your best. So these guys. So I have to leave that fort. Maybe that fort was a dumb spot. I'm not going to build that fort right now. We'll decide a better spot. Okay, so I guess this guy will go down here. This guy will go here. Need to get another disrupted marker since they split up. Just trying to build a defense here. I don't know, maybe this guy will come back here. Now that I'm deciding to go defensive, I'm all in on defense. Got a disruptor guy here next to enemy zone of control. What was that? It's him. So I think he'll just tuck in right behind the river here. What a guy here with Mr. Manstein. This was entrained last turn. Okay, 574. It's going to double in that location. I'm good with that. How else can I shore this stuff up? Apologize if you hear the jets flying. These guys are a little in danger zone, you know? So we'll go 1, 2, 3 to exit zone of control. And 4. This guy 1, 2, 3 to exit zone of control. 4. Well, 4. This guy, bam. I might be falling back a little too fast, but I'm a little worried about these guys getting pocketed even worse because of these sticky zones of control. This guy, he'll go, and we'll do extended movement, so it's now 7 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was this guy? Yeah, 6, 7, or 6, something like that. More extended movement. Well, this guy doesn't need extended movement. We'll come down and join this guy. This guy, I'll just beef this up a little bit. What about this guy? He'll go zone of control to zone of control. Just try to hold on in that little river corner there. See, the problem I have is by pulling all these guys back into defensive line, frees up all this stuff to just like go wherever, right? I mean, they're not that fast, the Soviet infantry, but it's not going to be good. Okay, cruise down here, not much to do. Starting to get into scary zone again. Okay, we got this guy here. And just a reminder, the other bad stuff going on. Let's see if I can focus this garbage here. So yeah, not much defenses down here. I need to get guys back into these cities for double defense if the Soviets break through more. Definitely have like the start of a little breakthrough down here. So I need to patch that up. Don't think it's 100% time to start falling back, but pretty soon. Get some guys cut off here. I think for starters, we're gonna rail in some those replacements. So just grab them from off camera. So let's see. It's a damaged infantry unit. We'll bring it into this railed in spot here. You know, honestly, probably should go down Stalino. And I suppose we'll bring the assault gun down here too and just have it nearby. It has a movement of 7, so next turn it can help out. So that got railed in. Okay, disrupted dude here, half strength. Yeah, we'll just use tactical movement to go there. This guy's about to, the Soviets are unzipping the line. He might be able to hold actually, because this guy can't actually get here to help push him out. This guy's in trouble. I need a counterattack. I'm in dire need of a counterattack. Okay, let me see. How can I get this guy down here? I think we can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6.5. So you can hit that guy from the side. It's 2-1 right there. Let's see if we can get that a little better. What do we have here? Some good stuff here. Big enemy stack coming in though. I don't think the Germans want to do 2-1 attacks. Let's get this up to 3-1. We'll send this guy down to join this stack. It's 3-1. Yeah, what was that? 18-5. 2 more would make it 4-1. This guy's coming in. Bam. I think this guy, he's gonna Zachbond to there. And this guy will as well. I'm hoping I can do something with them. If I come down here to like the very bottom of the area, like I'm not quite ready to abandon this stuff yet. I mean, if I do, these guys will just come in. But so, man, Germans are just hurting. Some of the games in the series have breakdown units that let you split a unit into other units. This one doesn't have it, and I really could use that right now. Wow, this is just kind of a pathetic move for the Germans. I'm not really going to get any attacks except maybe this one. We'll go ahead and build our fort that I decided against building up north. I think maybe we'll build it here because it's back a ways. And I'll get a little Zachbond into Stalino eventually when the line comes down this way. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Okay, German combat phase. My original thinking when moving these guys here was that I would do a disengagement attempt. Is that what it's called? Basically, roll die. If you're successful, you retreat out of here. I was thinking you'd move out of there. I just don't remember the rule. So retreating out of there, yeah, you can't do it through an enemy zone of control. So I was thinking I'd use them to like disengage and cut these guys off, but can't. So we're going to do this attack. Got 18 plus 2, 20 against 4. There's no assets anywhere around here, so we're looking at a straight 4-1. 5-1 for elite versus non-elite. 6-1 armor advantage because that's some mech infantry there. I think I have an armor in here too, or that's also mech infantry. So yeah, 6-1. Oh, I'm actually getting to use some like fancy stuff. I got a 6 on a 6-1. My first instance of a DS. That is a defender shattered. The defender loses 1 step. Surviving defenders must retreat and are marked full retreat. Okay, so we haven't seen full retreat. That's just like, you were just terrified. Full retreat, I believe, is 3 hexes. Let me make sure that's correct. No, full retreat is 4. So, you know, following the retreat rules, we gotta avoid zones of control. Can't do that. He won't be able to go up here because of the Zoc bond. So he's got to run for this guy. So there's 1. And you can't do a determined defense on a shattered. You can always go through 1 zone of control. 2. Here's another, but we made it to a friendly unit, so that's okay. 3. 4. I guess we'll get on this road here. I guess if I was being a stickler, when I was here... Oh no, that was good. That's good. Alright. So yeah, that guy full retreated. Now these guys get a breakthrough. Let's see, is that right? Yeah, breakthrough advance. A breakthrough advance for mech, which these guys are. This guy's foot. 4. So they can go 4 spaces. So I think I'm inclined to go move them as a stack. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do a mobile assault, mobile attack, whatever it's called. I had to check the terrain rules to see if this kind of terrain stops in advance. It does not. The only kind of terrain that stops in advance is a marsh, major river, pontoon, or ferry. Okay, so we're good there. So that's just another attack. We got 18 to 5, so it's only 3 to 1. The take advantage is cancelled in the this terrain, but I still have a lead advantage, so that's 4 to 1. Got a 3. 4 to 1 is a DR. Defender must either retreat and become disrupted or conduct a determined defense. So here's the problem, is if I just retreat, fine, as the Soviets. But these guys still have 1 more advance left. They could then try to attack this guy, which could disrupt things quite a bit. So I think we're going to try a determined defense. You know, we're Soviets, we're good. So determined defense, we are in rough, which is other terrain. Lead unit of the Germans, I guess, will be the elite dudes. Well, you know, the top guy, I guess. We rolled a 2, so it's going to be a -1 because the Soviets have bad, you know, they're against more experienced guys. That's a -1 in failure, unfortunately. So we lose a step, and they do have to retreat 2 on a DR, 1, 2, I guess. Disrupted. Okay, so these guys are here, and they have 1 more advance from their first attack left. It's very tempting, and it's in my nature to always go like, strong guy against a weak guy, but I think I'd be playing into my opponent's hands. So I can knock this guy out, but I risk getting, you know, cut off myself. Knocking this space out actually could establish a Zoc bond here back in my fortified line, so that's good. So these guys have 1 more advance left. I'm inclined to bring them back here. In fact, I might be inclined to bring them back here so that I'm not in any zone of control, and maybe next turn I can move a little better. That may be weak sauce, but I'm good with it. This guy's a prime target to be attacked, unfortunately. In fact, that assault gun unit, let's bring that down here instead of here. Yeah, we're on the rail line, we're good. Yeah, just in case. Okay, that's pretty weak for the Germans. So what I'm going to do is going to go find all the disrupted markers that they have, remove them all, you know, do that kind of maintenance. So now we look at supply. All Germans are in supply. Am I lying? No. They don't have to worry about the railroad repairs and stuff, so... Yep, this guy's good. Yep, everyone's in supply. That's the end of turn 3. Hey, thanks for watching. Sorry, this one was a little janky. Keep an eye out for turn 4.